pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, conceal carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Eccles.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
And we're back once again into Saturday evening, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And I am here with Mr. Tarver, the Cajun cowboy.
I prefer the pronouns of he, him, them, and humongous of the great wasteland.
What the hell is that all about?
You never watched The Road Warrior?
It's been a long time.
Okay.
I like
humongous.
Make your presence known. So, Mr. Tarver, what have you been up to? We didn't see you last week, so you've had 2 weeks to go out and do something Second Amendment related. What have you been doing besides waging battles on the Twitter?
I've been waging battles, man. That's a full-time job. Good grief. It is hard to get through people. Man, let me tell you something, man. We all make fun of the left, and there's some stupid people on the left, man. We make fun of them.
We do.
There's some stupid people on the right.
There are.
It's hard to shake people out of their... I ain't going to call them stupid. I'll do that in private.
Or on Twitter.
Ooh, that's why people shouldn't follow me, because I'm only there to stir up crap and punch people in the face.
You can find them under the Cajun Cowboy.
No, you can't. I don't know what that is.
Like that.
Yeah, it's people get into this. What do you call it?
The back and forth.
I just lost this conformity bias
mentality.
I can't.
The conformity bias. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
don't look at me. This is your monologue, dude.
I didn't know I was monologue. I was just talking. No, I kind of people get stuck in this. Well, this can't happen and that can't happen. I'm like, the man's telling you it's going to happen. God, thank you for the vapors, for you guys out there doing the vapes. Vape Nation.
You guys sucking poison into your lungs. Thank you,
because when Trump said he's going to go against vapes, man, the whole world woke up. Everybody went crazy. Now, let me tell you something.
Thank you from the bottom of my good lung.
Thank you, because that's waking more people up than him talking about, maybe we should do some red flag laws. Thank you. But my point with that whole thing is if everybody will speak up, we can stop him, and you can still keep the Democrats out, and you can still watch them cry.
You can have your guns and vape.
Yeah. You can have your guns, watch the Democrats cry, and vape, and get ready for Area 51.
That's right.
With your vape guns.
That's coming up. That's coming up on the 20th. Is that still on?
The guy's probably been disposed of by now.
I scheduled a class, an enhanced permit class for...
1 second. I want to get this point out. My point was, people raise so much stink over the vapes. Trump is already backtracking, saying we're not going to ban vapes. We're not going to ban the flavor. He was saying we're going to ban the flavor. We're not even going to ban the flavor. We're not going to ban any of that thing. We're just going to keep it away from children, which you already have to be 18 to buy it. And he's going after I guess it's kind of like Bathtub Jim. You got some bathtub vapes out there. That's what he's going after. All you had to do is let your voice be heard. So the people, if we have any kind of attacks on the Second Amendment, it's because of the people who didn't let their voice be heard. Okay, sorry.
Well, no, actually, I'll come back to this. So we talked about this, not you, but I talked about this on the radio show, and I came right out and said, no, there's more people on the left wanting to take the guns. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want to take them, but we're not being loud. We're not being vocal. We are not being heard. And why is that? Why are we not speaking up? Is it because we don't really think it's going to happen? Is it because it's President Trump and we have him all figured out? Or we voted for President Trump, we talked him up, so he's not going to take our guns? He can't take our guns. He said he wouldn't. I mean, is that it, or are we just not paying attention?
It's a lot of insanity. You got a lot of these 4D chess guys who think this is. I can't. I would not inflict physical violence.
Right.
Let me state that for the record here.
Beto O'Rourke might be listening.
Just for the record, yeah. So these people, you get into this. I can't tell you how many people have told me, "Oh, he's just trolling. Man, he's threatening to destroy the Constitution." That's not trolling. That's not funny. That's not. I don't even know how you can wrap your head around. I think people get so invested that they don't want to, and a lot of them don't dig deep. They don't get into the details. So as long as they're enjoying their little Twitter battles and stuff like that, Trump's owning the libs, and I'm like, dude, we're $22 trillion in debt. We got a judiciary that's out of control. We got illegals pouring across the border. We got, what else we have? We're losing Florida for the Republicans. We're about to lose Texas. Not this election, but probably the next one. We have jihadists in Congress. We're falling apart. But because he shines on people with a couple of good tweets, people love it, and that's all they care about. I'm like, really? We're not getting anything. But I'd still vote for him just to watch him cry, because the country's going to go to crap anyway. It's gone, and nobody's saving it. So at least I can watch some liberals cry,
right?
While I sit there.
Well, I mean, who can we trust?
With my stockpile of ammo.
You obviously can't trust the Democrats,
but now he's coming for the guns.
You can't trust the Republicans anymore either.
No.
And I mean, is there one person out there? I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Is there one person out there that you can? I say you never want to get 100% behind somebody, but who has actually held? Who's held steady? Anybody? I mean, we lost Dan Crenshaw. Looks like we're losing Trump, at least to our gun rights. Is there anybody out there?
No, I've been looking for Rand Paul. It's like, Rand Paul, where you at, man?
We
could use your voice right now.
What do you think of Ted Cruz? And I'm not holding up there as a god by any means, but
no.
He is by far. He's got to be the steadiest one I know right now.
He had some statements that I didn't like.
Right.
He was kind of testing waters, and we're going to do something about this. We're going to get people before they commit crimes. I'm like, be careful there, Ted. Be careful there, Ted. I'm watching you.
Right.
But I got to give it to him. There's a story that we got here that he's coming out. He was at what is that, Christian Science Monitor, I believe it was. It was a breakfast that they had where he was talking about Texas potentially being a battleground state and explaining to people. And this is not just you'd have to see this breakfast. It wasn't just him hanging out with, a couple of hundred private supporters. No, they had press there. He was at the table at the front on the podium, and he was there to speak, and he knew media was there, and he told them that GOP needs to watch their support for expanded background checks, because that could help elect Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, I saw her coming. So it's not that anybody's going to vote for Pocahontas, but you got a lot of states that went to Trump with 10,000 votes. What did Pennsylvania go with? 80,000? 80,000 votes. You know how many hunters there are in Pennsylvania?
Oh yeah.
How many gun owners there are? You don't have to anger the entire base. All you got to do is get enough people to say, I don't care. And they sit at home. And Trump is gone. And thank God bless Ted Cruz for saying this. I might not agree with you tomorrow. I don't know. But at least he's coming out with this. He's also, what is he? He's backing a Grassley bill.
Yeah, the Grassley bill.
Which is the most, I'm tell you what.
It's the most reasonable one.
It's the best one I've heard that I could say, okay, do that and leave us alone. But I wish they'd just enforce the laws you got. Enforce the laws you got.
That's the biggest problem.
They go away.
They need to enforce the laws they got. They need to, they tried to do that fix NICS, where they need to actually do the reporting, and actually when they find someone who is a problem, that paperwork needs to go into to the right place, so they have it on file.
If you hadn't heard of the Grassley bill, that's pretty much what you're describing right now.
Right.
It was a couple of points. It was that, It was the straw buyers.
Fix the process, make it work, penalize the straw buyers, penalize...
Which is already against the law.
Yeah.
But they want to make another law, making it more against the law.
Well, essentially, they just want people to do their job and enforce what's already there. It's all about enforcing what is already there.
So if I have to take a gun law, I'll take that one. But, I'd like to get some concealed carry reciprocity or something in exchange for it.
Right.
That I'll take, and I still don't like it. Republicans just shut their face, don't even talk about attacking the Second Amendment. All gun laws are against the Second Amendment, really. It's all infringements. I mean, the Second Amendment was not written to say what we can have. It was written to tell the government, this what you cannot touch.
Yeah.
Shall not be infringed. That was not written to the people. It was written to the government. You can't touch this. And guess what? They've been touching it for a long time.
And in fact, if you want to get down to it, just having to go and get a concealed carry permit violates the Second Amendment.
It does.
It violates a God-given right. It's I don't know. Anyhow,
it does.
Well, and they're trying to roust up not only the Republicans and the Democrats are only jumping on board, but now we have a huge list of how many are there? 140.
That was the original count. God only knows how many have signed on now.
CEOs. So
villainous dirt bags from all across the country.
I'm trying to look here. And these CEOs, they all got together and they wrote this letter. I'm not going to read the whole letter because Lord knows nobody wants to hear me read everything, but I'll read the first part of it. Dear member, this is dated September 12, 2019, so this is just recently. Dear members of the Senate, our hearts are with the victims, their families and loved ones, and all those affected by the tragic shootings in El Paso and West Texas and Dayton, Ohio. These families became members of a club that no one wants to join. The millions of Americans whose lives have been forever altered by gun violence. Every day, 100 Americans are shot and killed, and hundreds more are wounded. There are more. These are more than mass shootings. In recent weeks, gun violence has devastated Chicago, Canoga Park, Newport News. They recognize Chicago.
Yeah,
finally.
In recent weeks?
Not that I like this, but yeah, it's just been happening recently. Gilroy and Brooklyn, among others. There is a public health crisis. This is a public health crisis that demands urgent action. As leaders of some of America's most respected companies and those with significant business interest in the United States, we are writing to you because we have a responsibility and obligation to stand up for the safety of our employees, customers, and all Americans in the communities we serve across the country. Doing nothing about Americans' gun violence crisis is simply unacceptable, and it is time to stand with the American public on gun safety. And then they list them, and I'm not going to read them all, but I mean, you got some biggies on there. Of course, you got Bloomberg, you've got
Jack Dorsey,
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
You have Ecolab. You have Ecolab.
Yeah, some guy named Doug Baker. I think I heard of him before.
I think I might have heard of Doug Baker once or twice, and Ecolab. And God, if you work for some of these companies, you may need to rethink that. You have got. Who else you got? I'm keen through the list here. Some of them I haven't heard of.
Levi Strauss and Company.
Levi Strauss has been
dirtbags for a while.
Dirtbags. Reddit, Royal Caribbean Cruises, Square, and Twitter.
Yeah.
There you go. For a long time, I do my classes. People ask me why I don't have Square, why I don't take cards. Well, because if you have the Square and you actually read the fine print, if they find out and they decide they want to, and you deal in firearms and sell firearms, they can shut off your service.
Yeah.
Overnight in a heartbeat. There's
Not
Uber.
only that, they're digging for information. There's this whole thing going on with Twitter philanthropy. Oh, I'm glad I got that. With old Plute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's forcing everyone to get on the Square, and he's working. Yeah, taking pictures with Dorsey. Dorsey owns Twitter, and Dorsey owns Square. Anyway, go ahead.
Squarespace, SurveyMonkey, Thrive, Toms, Uber, Yelp. What are the other big ones on here? There's a ton of them on here.
Villainous garbage and an anti-American swine. All of them.
I am going to post this up on the Patriot Defense Facebook page so everyone can take a look at it. Everyone needs to see this freaking letter. This is insane.
Yeah, it's a short letter. It's one page. It's got more signatures than it does letter.
Oh, yeah. It's like 6 pages of signatures. Who else is on here? Any big ones?
Oh, Credit Karma. You got a lot of them, man. DoorDash. I use a lot of DoorDash, man. At least my family does. I'm like, don't be sending them comments to my house no more.
That's right. But
DoorDash is, you know what they are.
I don't.
They'll deliver anything to you. You order anything anywhere in town.
Oh,
and it's
gotcha.
right here in Twin. They'll just deliver anything to your house. It's like, I don't feel like going. We don't deliver. That's okay. Got the DoorDash. Well, got the DoorDash no more.
So you're
out of here.
Why would they be doing this? I mean, what are they just showing their support, or do they have a big hand in this, or is this going to be trickled down? Are they going to control your lives? These are some big names. I mean,
big names, but Bloomberg's behind it, and Bloomberg's got a big voice, and he's ready to spend. Some of these are $1 billion companies, but Bloomberg has billions to throw away, and he's ready. He's the driving force behind this. And no matter what they say, if you get enough of them, all right, I left, what do you call it, the Amazon,
right,
because of their practices, and went to Walmart.com. Well, look at Walmart. You get enough of them, you got to go to them. But if you get enough of these Bloomberg activists out there marching in front of you,
right,
and holding up the bloody hands, and you kill children and all this crap.
So are places? I mean, are these places like throwing money? So like, is this is that Doug Baker at Ecolab? Is he throwing a bunch of money at this, or just signing a paper showing his support?
I do not know how tactical it is or how much in his heart it is, but I wouldn't sign this paper.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. But you start getting. You get this media. You get a frenzy that starts getting viral and wrecking your name. It can cost you big. It can cost you big. Not only that, a lot of these companies deal with other big companies.
Oh yeah, and they have influence and everything else. When
Walmart comes out, when Walmart says something, man, Walmart influences everything. Because everybody has to deal with Walmart.
And what you don't understand is a lot of these big companies that we read off, not only do they own the company that you know, but they may own numerous other companies that you don't even...
Right.
So they're speaking for them as well, pretty much, because they own them.
Well, you get it. All right, just say some of these customers, Levi Strauss, for example.
Yeah, they've been crooked.
You want to sell your
years.
stuff in Walmart? Sign the paper.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Sign the paper.
There you go.
It's all it takes is a little bit of pressure. You get enough of the right people to put pressure on. Because for a while, Walmart was the only game in town. Now there's Amazon, but they just as dirty. So you get a couple of those guys, and if you want to keep big contracts nationwide, you'll go along.
Screw this. I'm going to start making my own shit. I'm going to start crocheting my own underwear, dude.
I've been thinking about moving to Montana. Or Wyoming.
Go to Wyoming.
I don't know.
Go to Wyoming.
I know we got we had
you got to buy some mountains acreage somewhere. I'm going to go. I got a tractor now. We can just pack up the shit, armor that sucker up, and go.
We ain't got to buy it. We just don't have to be caught. Just go up there and pitch a tent.
There you go.
I'm looking at it, actually. I want some property that's off the grid in a way, and
because we've been talking.
I'll just let the place burn, and I'll just sit there with my Spam and my rod and reel, and I'm good to go.
Your AR-15.
My AR-15. AR-10.
Freaking Beto O'Rourke's going to come take that from you.
Yeah, he's going to come take that. Dude has the stupidest stories I've ever heard in my life.
We knew it. We all knew it, right?
Yeah.
And he finally came out and freaking said it.
God bless you, Beto O'Rourke. You did more to help me. Thank you, because that is going to be a soundbite that's played for the next decade.
And many times on this podcast.
That's what they've always wanted. What's funny is nobody checked him, all right? They're like, now they're trying to say, Beto, you shouldn't have said that. Who on that stage checked him? Nobody. Who in that audience? Did you hear the audience? They went, wow.
They freaking cheered.
They loved it.
They did.
Woo, they loved it. So, thank you. Maybe if some people will call Trump and put a little heat on him, he will back up from this nonsense, and we can save the Second Amendment. We can stop all this foolishness. I am seeing glimpses of hope. I am seeing some bright spots. It's the Cruz comment, because when he comes out and says that, and he knows there's media there, they don't say stuff like that unless they want to get it out. If they say something that they shouldn't have said within 24 hours, they'll have a retraction or a counter statement. and he hasn't said anything. So that's good. And I was going to say Trump said maybe nothing will happen, but it's kind of hard to.
Don't buy that for a minute.
It's kind of hard to keep up with Trump, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, don't buy that for a minute. So
it changes a lot. You know, I can understand how he's driving liberals insane because I've been laughing the whole time with all the foolishness that's been going on. It's like, yeah, whatever. Until it's something I'm caring about. And I'm like, hey. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out where his mind's at. Good luck. Good luck. He could come out and say, all right, we're headed to nuclear war by 5 o'clock today. Nobody take it serious. They'd be like, all right, well, let's wait till 5 o'clock and actually see if it happens. And I think that's a lot of what's happening with the guns. People are waiting to see. And if they wait, it'll be too late.
Yeah, and they're not. People aren't.
Trump backs up too easy. If you would put some pressure on him from his base, he will back up. He'll leave this alone.
He likes to be liked.
He likes to be liked. That's where we got him. But right now, he's listening to Ivanka. God help us. From what he said,
social credit score.
Millennia had a problem with the vape, so he's on that. And I'm like, he backed up in 24 hours on that. 24 hours. People that I've been trying to get, Dan Bongino, a lot of the big names in Twitter, trying to get them to say
Twitter
anything.
Buddies.
Yeah, well, Dan Bongino's got that Fox money, and he ain't saying nothing. Although he did take an oath to back the Second Amendment,
right,
support the Constitution. But I can't get him to say nothing. Vapes come out. Well, man, 10 minutes. He had a post out. That's a bad idea, Mr. President. I'm like, glad you could join us, man. But within 24 hours, he's already completely backtracked it. All we got to do is put the pressure on. Nobody's wanting to do it.
Oh,
you can love him all you want. You can take pictures of him and hang him over your bed. I don't care. Call the man.
And this has been just, I mean, all this stuff's just, you had the mass shootings, you had this, you got all the CEOs coming out, all this is just bam, bam, bam. This last month, I'm freaking tired. Yeah. Are you tired? I'm tired.
It's fatiguing. I was starting to get in arguments the other day, and I'm like, I don't care.
What people don't see that do they listen to the podcast, but you're on Twitter. We're constant. We have numerous phone calls during the day, just ranting back and forth. I do the radio show. I hear from people. You hear from people, and it's just constant, man.
It's constant.
It's just kind of beats on you.
And I think you get more traction on Discuss, but you start opening up 4 or 5 different platforms where you're trying to sway communities, and it drains you, man.
Well, we had the conversation before we started the podcast today. We always have like a little, I won't call it a meeting, but a little.
We had a meeting at the range.
A little we did that too. A little pre-podcast powwow, and I just, I felt, we got to talk about what there is to talk about, but I was like, man, we just need a fun podcast.
We do.
You feel like you just need a break.
Well, we came out, we put 150 rounds, about 150.
Yeah, we did.
Through the Canic.
We shot a little bit. The weather's getting freaking hot again. 90 degrees tomorrow, dude.
Stop it. I thought it was supposed to be 70
No,
degrees.
90 degrees tomorrow.
Come on, man. Tell me you got something bad going on.
I might have.
That can't be. Oh, yeah. Okay, tomorrow's, I think it's Monday.
Monday's supposed to drop again, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm counting on.
Now I got to get ready, man.
87 tomorrow.
We're going from politics
77 on Monday.
We're going from politics to this, but 3 weeks, man. 3 weeks, Mr. Tarver.
What's happening in 3 weeks?
I'll be running 50 miles on the coast. 3 weeks.
50 miles.
50 miles. I'll have to run. I got to get done with it quick because it's in freaking Oregon and I can't have my freaking firearm.
So you can say, man,
I got to run fast and watch my ass.
They might be waiting for you. They're watching you. They're listening now, and they're like, he'll be here in 3 weeks.
That's right. I'll take my knife.
We'll pick him up then.
That's right. So we're going to stay. We're going to stay. My wife got a real nice hotel down there for us and the kids. And we got to be careful. You got to be careful when you stay at hotels. It can get outright dangerous. Townsend, Maryland. Loud sex mistaken for fight leads to gunshots.
Wow.
What kind of sex is that, and why?
That always happens, man.
It is.
You can't judge people for that.
Cool. So let me get you the details. It says police responded for a fight inside of a hotel room. Then it turned out it was just 2 women having loud sex.
2 women.
2 women.
Wow.
It ended
running at each other.
It ended with the security guard getting shot at. They're having sex and the security guard got shot at.
Maybe he wasn't invited.
Maybe he was pissed. Says it all started when 2 clerks who were working at the front desk of the hotel got a call from one of the rooms. During the call, the workers reportedly heard 2 people fighting in the background, prompting an on-duty security guard to call the police. Each of the women told the police they were not fighting, but they were having sex. And at the request of the security office, the police ordered the women to pack up and leave the hotel. As they were leaving, one of the women forgot her phone in the hotel room, so she went up there with the law enforcement officer, went up there to retrieve her phone. The other woman got upset, went back in, started fighting with the people at the lobby, and the next thing you know, pulled out a pistol.
All right.
She pulled the pistol out. They interrupted her loud sex. She was freaking pissed.
Yeah. Hey,
started wrestling.
It's right there, man.
Started wrestling with the security guard.
Come back in 5 minutes.
He just wanted in on the action, so he started wrestling with her. Next thing you know, the damn gun goes off.
Yeah, it sounds like he was getting a little grabby.
He was getting a little. He was jealous. But anyhow, so I will. Got to be careful where you stay.
That's some hell of a sex, man. Some hell of a sex. Swinging from the chandeliers and stuff.
There you go.
What kind of hotel is this?
Oh, a good one.
Okay.
Maryland Days Inn.
Okay, no chandeliers they're swinging from.
Damn Maryland.
What do they think they're doing, man? Okay.
Having good sex. What else you got over there? We got another story over there, or is that just
I'm
stuff
just watching my man Voda call for gun control.
Voda? Voda. Oh, yes.
Your man Voda.
Okay, I've got a... Okay, you find it, I'll tell everyone. Everyone remember Voda, right? Voda is the guy that runs Voda Inc. See this? Lucian Black. Lucian Black.
That dude's amazing.
He is back. And if you know him, he's the guy that we talk about it's been a little while. We talk about every now and then, and he got in trouble because he used to he teaches some concealed carry classes and some different things, some self-defense stuff with firearms, and they actually yanked his NRA certificate, and they yanked his actual concealed carry permit, and I forget which state he was in, but they yanked it because videos came out of him, and he teaches these classes by like pointing his gun at the students.
Good God.
And like having them like point guns at him, like loaded freaking guns.
That's gonna work out well.
Yeah. So anyhow, he came out with some different, I don't even remember what they're called, some different moves with a freaking gun and a knife, and it looks like something you'd see on like Call of Duty, and saying how they didn't like him because he was black and they're racist. And anyhow, he came out. He came out now. He's got an opinion on everything that's going on. And this is what he said. He said, the problem isn't guns, it's people. And I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with some of this. Not very much, but some.
Guns had never done anything.
But if people are the problem, then we should restrict people's access to guns.
What?
This is a guy that makes money writing books and teaching people how to shoot guns.
Well.
I don't know how much he's making. He's making something.
Well, I don't know how much he's teaching is my point.
That's right.
He's getting money from people. Let's say that.
So, but if the people are the problem, then we should restrict people's access to guns. We should do this by significantly raising the price of ammunition and restricting people to purchase one gun every 2 years.
One gun every 2 years?
One gun every 2 years and raising the price of ammo. There's nothing like stepping on my Second Amendment rights.
I can't tell you how many people that are supposed to be pro-gun that say this. I mean, we all know Voda's a clown.
Oh, Voda is great, man.
I can't tell you how many people have the same mentality, just like the bump stock. Bump stock didn't affect me. And if the bump stock didn't affect you, the way it was written to turn a piece of plastic into a machine gun, pretty much anything that's not single, one that holds one round can be classified as a machine gun. Anyway, go ahead.
But, let's see. Stop gun shows. No more gun shows. That's what he wants to do. Stop gun shows. Immediately execute mass shooters and actually create... So I agree with execute those mass shooters. Get them, make the penalty stiff. I agree with that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Make sure you got the right person.
Yeah, and actually create gun trafficking laws. So there's no gun trafficking laws right now?
Yes, there are thousands, federal, state, and local.
Okay. He wants to create them with extremely stiff prison sentences.
Oh, and international.
So there you go. That's Voda Inc. You can find his page, Extreme Direct Action, Extreme Close Kinetics.
Freaking moron.
Lucian Black. Lucian Black. He runs Voda Consulting, Team Voda, of Voda Inc. He said it is hashtag gun control, hashtag more gun control. That dude is a marketing genius right there.
Yes. It's a bold business strategy. I don't know.
My hat's off to him.
Ooh, yeah.
Hope that works out well for him.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that one to see how well it goes.
That dude shows up every now and then and just, yeah.
Whew, he's amazing.
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh, he's painful. I've leaned back with a half a cringe in my face when I'm watching him. It's amusing and painful at the same time. People pay him and listen to his advice.
And the people pay him and let him point their guns at him. His gun at them. He's got 4 books. I'm going to write a damn book. If he can write a book, I can write a book.
Write a book, man.
I'm writing a book. I don't know what it's going to be about yet.
I think I'll write a book.
Freaking gun control.
Let's just write a book. Nah, nobody want to hear my book.
Means using 2 hands. So, talk to me. You found the gun. Okay, we mentioned this. You found the gun that you like.
I found the gun.
You found the gun. Now, what is it again? State it again.
Oh, I got to write all this down, man. It is the Canic TP9. Actually, they changed the name.
Oh.
It is now the Canic TP9 EC. Just the Elite Combat. But
they took off executive?
I have the executive model, so I guess
So you like a business? You like a businessman? Is that a businessman's gun?
I guess so.
An executive. So you like it. That is the one you like. In fact, you like it enough. You're going to get a few more.
Possibly,
because you like it.
Maybe.
So
I'm going to get that 45 also, though.
Oh, that's right. So let's talk about what you've been doing out here on the range. You've been actually diligently coming out and you've been shooting.
Poking paper.
You poking paper. You've been dialing in, right? Dialing in your shooting ability.
I got it done.
So now you were talking about a strategy of what you were doing out there. You were clearing your mind. Explain that.
It's something I was going to try, but I used my first 16 rounds were.
But explain what you read. Let's talk about this.
Okay. Well, I will listen to any advice, and I will if I'm not standing on my head and doing pirouettes.
You got to try it.
I'll give it a shot. If it sounds like it makes sense, I'll give it a shot. So, a pretty intelligent person, YouTuber that was giving different advice, was saying, distract yourself, huh?
It wasn't Lucian Black, was it?
No.
Was it Voda? You didn't watch some Voda videos?
Hell no.
Okay.
No. No, and they were saying, try this when you shoot. Distract your mind from the shot.
Okay.
A lot of people anticipate the shot. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. To just repeat in your head anything. Mashed potatoes. As you squeeze the trigger. I'm about to shoot. Anything. Just take your mind off of the bang.
What would you think about before?
Well, actually, I didn't do it. I just told you I thought about it. Because actually, I went out there without doing it and I racked off the first 16. I'm like, okay, I'm good for today. I'm eating it up.
There you go. Well, what I think about when I shoot is I get out there when I'm going to, and this is when I'm just shooting, I actually.
I got to go to work on Monday.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. Damn, he go loud. Anyhow, this is what.
I only think of rainbows and unicorns.
That's right. This is what I think of. I think of everything that I have to do, right?
Right.
I think of it in this order. Stance, and I don't necessarily take a lot of time. You see me shoot. I don't take a lot of time to do this, but stance, grip, sight picture, trigger. That's what I think of, and that's the order. And as I'm doing that, and while I'm going through that stance, grip, sight picture, trigger, and as I'm doing that, I'm squeezing that trigger. I'm squeezing, and when it's not stance, grip, sight picture, trigger, bang. It's stance, grip, sight picture, trigger, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm starting to pull. Does that make sense? Okay. It's my little mantra.
But you're doing something in your head.
I am.
Take away from the.
I'm focusing on what I'm doing at hand.
But not on the anticipation.
Not on the anticipation. I've seen some doing this and teaching these classes. I've seen some crazy flinches.
Yeah,
I've seen some people flinch like a madman, and I don't think you don't flinch a whole lot. I mean, you don't flinch actually at all. I don't think, and you do pretty good. And I'm not picking on you. You want some criticism? Well, I mentioned it out there.
I don't care.
When you're shooting,
I got a target out there. You see those?
Yeah. No, you did great.
See my first target?
You did great. And
could I have done better?
A lot of people do this.
Could anybody have done better?
I didn't today.
No one could.
No
one could do better. Don't beat yourself up. No one could have done better than that. It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was a good good freaking group.
And I was like, so I went to try
I found it interesting.
Yourself, and I'm like, it's kind of too late.
Found it interesting.
I'm already perfect.
Found it interesting. You had all that done before I came outside.
You didn't see the paper, the flash burns on it, did you?
So I've seen a lot of people will shoot and they'll be shooting great 2, 3, 4 shots, then they'll pull a shot,
right?
And then they fall apart after that. It's because they pull the shot and they're like, oh damn it, I missed. That was bad. And then what happens? They aren't focused anymore. No. They aren't clearing their mind.
That's why I shoot better when you're not there, because when you're there, I'm overthinking it.
Why is it?
Because like a freaking teacher standing over my shoulder. I'm like, get out of here, man.
But am I really that bad?
No. That's the problem that I need to work on. So actually, I need you there more.
I'll say something if you want me to,
but I will shoot before you get there. So when you show up and say, "Dude, I can shoot," it's just you.
No, I know. I know you can shoot. I know you can shoot. So no problems with that. So
I need to take that sight. Nah.
Oh, you mean the target?
Yeah. Well, I came here. I was pretty tired, and I wasn't feeling too good. I'm like, I don't know how well I
think you're on top of the freaking world.
And I wasn't thinking about it as much. I'm like, good God, that's amazing.
So every other podcast I know has talked about this.
Okay, so let's do it.
Area 51 invasion.
Oh, man. Screw it, dude. If they're going to take our ARs, let's go for it. Let's go get the ray guns.
Here's what I did, though. I set up my class on the 21st.
Get me an alien.
So you can go and you can invade Area 51 on the 20th, and you can still make it back in time for your concealed carry permit class on the 21st.
I don't better get them to pay in advance. I don't think they're going to make it.
No, I don't know if that's not really going down anymore. Do you think anyone will actually try that?
There was people booking rooms and stuff. There was a lot of interest, and you don't hear nothing about it anymore. Nothing. They're trying to get it quiet. I don't know. Maybe the guy who started it, he come out apologizing 4 or 5 times. It was just a joke. I
heard he turned it into like some music show or something.
I think he's all chopped up and thrown in the ocean by now. He's gone.
Oh man! So Friday was a big day, at least in the valley here. We had the drawing for that raffle.
Oh, you did? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
man, how busy I've been.
We had the drawing for the raffle, and we gave away the AR, we gave away the shotgun and the Ruger 1022 takedown.
Wow, you're giving away all kinds of stuff.
Oh man! And we did it live. It's on our Facebook page, and I actually found out that the school. The coach so what we're doing this raffle, we're raffling off this gun because the baseball team at the Canyonside high school, the baseball team, they were going to raffle off this gun. They were selling raffle tickets, and they got all the money, and then the school heard about it. Someone complained. Some liberal amongst us complained. In fact, I figured out who it was. I think. Yeah, I got a name. I got a picture. But anyhow, I won't throw that out there. I'll show you later.
Yeah, show me later.
And they complained, and the school district shut it down. And they had to give all the money back. So when they did that, I jumped in and said, "Hey, Patriot Defense, I'll head this thing up, man." And so we started this raffle. I sold a bunch of tickets, and we actually sold. I wanted a lot more, but I think it's pretty good for the baseball team. Like $3,900.
Okay,
that's a good chunk of change, right?
It is, especially when you don't have 15 baseball players going out to the neighborhood selling it.
Yeah,
people are coming to you, and you're mobile. You're not in. It's not like show up at the corner
right
at 5 points and I'm there all week. So, yeah, that's very good considering the circumstances.
Had a lot of help, put out a lot of tickets to different businesses and stuff, so as pickup points for people. But anyhow, the question was the school going to take the dirty money? That's what I'm calling it. Was the school going to take the dirty gun money?
Blood money.
And actually, I guess the coach, he doesn't know how much yet, but he saw that it was over, and I heard rumor that the coach went and talked to the school district, and they said
permission?
Yeah, they said they would take the money. Which is good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what
sad that he had to go ask if he could take money.
When I'm thinking about writing on the check, because I'm going to take him a check next week,
right?
To Canyon Ridge School, and then at the bottom where it says subject line, put dirty gun money. I should do it. Dirty gun money. Oh man, but yeah. So there you go. It was a successful raffle, and I don't know that I want to do any more of those anytime soon.
No.
Because it was a lot of freaking extra. I'm glad I did it. It was a lot of freaking extra work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you was a storefront kind of guy, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
There, they're on the counter. Come get them when you want. You're not. So it
was work, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't a kind gesture.
It was stressful knowing that there was chunks of money out there.
Yeah.
And like, okay, are people selling tickets? Are they giving tickets away? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of stressful. But I've yet to call the winners, so I need to get on my butt and do that.
Well, not only that, it's really nice when you can have 20 different young guys in baseball uniforms go door to door, because then they guilt you.
Yeah, I wanted to know how much they had made, but no one knows. No one really knows, because they didn't have to gather all the money up yet by when they canceled it. They just shut it off.
Oh.
So nobody knows. I don't know if I earned less or more,
but you completed it.
I completed it. It is done. So trying to look here. Do we have any more stories? I don't think we do.
We got a couple stories. We got a big one on the NRA that's actually.
Oh, thank you.
Now that came up.
Freaking NRA.
Check the date on that, because what I found was a leaked contribution statement. What do you call it? You get the Freedom of Information Act,
right?
And you can find out who all's donating to what political campaign.
There's no date on this story.
It's not at the top.
No.
Okay.
Wait. Well, yeah. This is.
Yeah, he said he broke that story 4 months ago, and I'm like, well, dude, you got a blog that nobody heard of.
This is May 29th, dude.
Yeah.
But there's still some important facts in here.
The point is that somebody with a name just did a Freedom of Information Act and found this guy's information as donating to Beto O'Rourke, and that's what broke the story, made the story start to gain some traction. And this guy come out and said, I wrote on that months ago.
Right.
And, congrats to you and kudos to you. So we're going to your story, but we don't know who you are. It's not like you're the Drudge Report.
Right.
So we got that, and we got a 6 hour causing problems.
Let's talk about SIG, and then we'll rag on the NRA, because I feel like doing that.
Yeah,
it's my favorite topic.
They are they're posting videos now. I don't know who's in charge of the stuff. They posted 2 videos I saw where they chopped it up out of context, and one was the Parkland dad that his daughter got killed. And he was giving an interview saying he don't blame the guns, all this stuff, and the NRA chopped that and sent it out. And I watched the whole video somewhere else, and I'm like, but he's calling for red flag laws and hate speech crimes. He wants you disarmed for hate speech and red flag. I'm like, why
they used what they could
promoting this man? Yeah, but people who look at you, let them promote him. Then the next interview they see, he's going to do the same thing, because that's what he thinks. And I'm sorry for your loss, but you can shut up. You ain't getting nothing from me. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Hate speech and red flag. Get out of here.
Well, we'll talk more about what they're doing here in a minute.
Anyway,
who they support, who those people support.
Philadelphia Transit Police scrap 6-hour pistols after incident. I've been saying this for a long time. Ever since the SIGs left Germany, they're no good. They're just mass marketing. They're just punching these things out. People didn't like it when I talked about their little SIG, the little tiny one.
No,
that new one, the SAS?
Oh, yeah. I've seen it, but I
Mushed it in those sights.
I want to. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Transit police officers in Philadelphia will no longer carry Sig Sauer pistols after a weapon allegedly fired without a trigger pull. Wow. Now that's kind of
fired
scary.
Without a. Did they drop it?
No.
August
26.
Just went off.
SEPTA officials say an officer's Sig Sauer P320 pistol discharged while still in its holster.
I hate it when that shit happens. I hate it. It's a bad day when your gun just goes bang like that.
Yeah. Either that or somebody really couldn't think of a good story.
Good thing they were an appendix. So never appendix carry a Sig.
No.
Sauer pistol.
During rush hour inside the subway station, no one was injured in the incident, and the investigation remains ongoing. However, the agency is pulling its entire inventory of 350 P320 pistols. I know where they're on sale, folks.
Yeah, I know you can get them cheap, man.
Out of service, and will replace them with Glock pistols. Oh, man. The department has received
Glock don't have stories like that, though.
They don't. They have boring stories.
Did they say they're going June 19s? 17s, probably.
Sure.
They're going to go 17s.
17s?
It's a full-size 9.
Yeah. I'll sell them a 17. I'm selling stuff, man. The department has received information. Preliminary investigation of the firearm was completed and failed to identify the reason why the weapon discharged without manipulation by the officer. That is amazing.
So the most gun lately, over the last year, the stories of guns malfunctioning, guns not working, guns going off when they're dropped, guns firing themselves randomly in holsters, they've all been pointed to Sig.
Yeah. And the thing that makes me even more aggravated is there's spokesman for Sig. Every time he comes out, this dude is attacking people and trashing people, and how dare you, question Sig, and of course, these morons out here. He's saying all this kind of stuff. I'm like, brother, you want me to buy your product? Is that what you want? You calling me stupid?
Yeah.
I know
Special forces use Sig. A lot of the special forces, from what I hear, use Sig.
With the German made SIGs.
Yeah. The good ones.
Yeah, when they were still good. Matter of fact, these 320s, they got the contract, if I'm not
Those
mistaken.
are the new modular ones.
And,
ones everyone was all
but
jazzed up about.
I told him, I don't know. And more information is coming out. Tell you what, best handgun on the planet. Canic.
Yeah.
It
is a good
I'll
gun.
put it up against anything.
It's a good gun. I love the trigger, man. So tell everyone about the SAS or SAA.
Okay, what was that? The Sig P what?
365.
365 with the SAS. This is a unique little. I
want to shoot one.
Yeah.
I know we just bad talk.
I might
but I
want one.
No, I don't. I need to try the sights out first because they're all set down into the slide.
Yeah,
that's the way.
Just
right?
the first inch and a half of the slide. It don't even run the full length of the barrel.
So I guess I didn't see the top of it. I saw a rear. So what? So it doesn't have a front sight?
No. It has its front sight and its rear sight are within close proximity to each other, but they line up, and it has a night sight and a fiber optic tied into it. It's quite unique.
So it's just a groove in the top of the slide.
It's like a little plate that has a fiber optics running through it and a night sight.
Keep talking her up.
Down,
I'm looking it up here.
They drop it down in there, and it has the front sight, the rear sight. They kind of flush with the weapon, and it has a little piece of metal that goes from the top to the front and covers it to where it's completely smooth and snag-proof, which if your sights are small like that, they're not going to be very snaggable anyway.
You know what?
This is quite interesting.
I've been thinking about this. I don't snag my gun anyway, right? Practice drawing your freaking firearm. Practice clearing your cover garment. Where are you going to snag this gun at anymore?
Well, you get it's out of control.
I'm looking.
That's like people talk about the major muscle functions, right, and the minor muscle functions. Well, your mag release is a minor muscle function. I mean, there's so many scenarios you can find a problem with. If my life has to go over something small like that, I think it was just time for me to go, man. I think the good Lord said, "That's it. I'm tired of you."
Where the
taking you out of here?
I'm listening. How the hell does this work?
You got to look at it from the. You got to look at a picture from the rear and from the top. It's.
What am I looking at, though?
I don't know what you're looking at.
I mean,
there you go. That's the rear.
I'm just putting that green dot on the target.
Yeah. From the back, and it's just pull up, draw. I don't know. I've seen people.
You're shooting that. You're aiming that. So you're, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. For defensive purposes, I could see great if you're going to go and you're trying to, put holes in a freaking bullseye and score a target. That's not going to work.
I've seen people shoot it with some distance.
And that's fine.
But they're shooting plates. I don't know what they're hitting on paper.
Yeah. So what this is going to be like, it's going to be like you don't aim a shotgun, you point a shotgun.
Kind of.
I could see people using this. I'm thinking on the fly here.
Right.
But I could see people, first thoughts, people using this and teaching them that you don't, to shoot with both eyes open and not actually, you're using the sights, but you're not using the sights. Does that make sense?
It's
like a point shooting.
It's like a red dot, but it's not a red dot. But it is kind of a red dot. You're put the dot on it and shoot.
That is weird.
It is weird. It's unique. I want to go to the gun store. I went to check on it. I'm like, I need one to put in my hand. I got to look down this sight. And
so they should just make a freaking gun without sights.
They kind of have.
Well, I mean, just not even that. I've heard.
It's the P365 SAS.
So they're just amping. I can actually see this taking off.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're just amping up. They're amping up this little awesome. What do they call it? The 365s. And I've shot that. I don't mind the gun.
How much kick is in that thing? That's what I was wondering.
I don't know if I shot it once a long time ago. Not much. It is actually pretty comfortable in your hand. But they're taking what their self-defense pistol and they're actually making it self-defense. I mean, sights, point shooting.
I think
I could too. It's a little hard to take at first. You got to raise nothing like I thought. Now that I actually look at pictures of it,
I don't want to spend that much on it.
It's for quick acquisition, man. It's for hitting center mass. It's not for it's not for scoring a target. It's for hitting center mass. That's what it's for. Shooting plates.
It's not for shooting over a hostage's shoulder. Yeah.
Self defense, man. That's what that is for. That's actually.
But I like it. I like the concept of it. We got to wait and see if it actually functions. And I've actually heard some reports that there's less primer drag and everything else on it. Not primer, firing pin drag on the primer. Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
If I would take one of my handguns and knock the sights off.
Okay.
Okay. I know this is going to sound chintzy. I know it's not as nice as this, but I want to know if I could get the same effect. Take the freaking sights off. Take a little bit of nail polish or something, and put a green dot on the top of the back of my freaking slide. Is that the same thing?
I don't think so because I've had too many people. I've watched reviewers. Now, of course, this is what I hate about reviewers.
Why wouldn't that be the same thing?
Well, give me a second. I hate reviewers because if you already have this gun, then you're getting paid for this. But they tell me, I've heard a few of them that say, that's what they thought it would be. Just a point and shoot kind of thing, but it actually works, and I don't know how.
How? I
don't know. So I want to put one in my hand.
Okay. I could buy this.
Okay.
Obviously, my guns are never coming to fruition, but
yes, it's not. It's over. Besides, it's been outclassed.
Yeah. So this intrigues me. I would love to get my hands on this, right. And I would take one of my other guns. I would knock the freaking sights off of it, and I would put a green dot on the back of the slide and see if it. I mean, I'm curious because essentially, how is that any different than me? I mean, I'm showing Tarver a picture, and no one can see this. How is that any different than from putting a green dot on the back of my slide? How? How is that different?
It has.
Because you're not looking through it. You're essentially looking at the back of the
But it has
slide.
enough of a lineup that it does give. I haven't done it. I haven't shot it. I just said I'm very curious about it, and it's very interesting. There's not many guns come along that you say, man, that is different.
Because you're not really even seeing. You're seeing center mass. That's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the target.
Right. Put the dot over the target and bang it. But they're saying it's got enough distance. I mean, you're looking at.
I'm not saying it's not going to work, but I'm not saying I think I can do the same thing.
Maybe so. But from the front sight to the rear sight, quote unquote, is a little bit of distance. And you're talking about a gun that the whole slide is not very big. So
right.
They're saying it lines it up. And I do not know. I cannot.
This could take the place of a red dot. Red dots are still so.
It's kind of a red dot for.
Red dots because you're seeing through the target, through the sight at the target. In the same way, though. But you're still seeing through the target on a red dot,
right?
To the through the sights to the target, and you're still, even with iron sights, you're seeing through the sights to the target. This is, gosh. I mean, this is a gun. Right. So, like, if I'm looking at my knuckle there, I mean, it's covered up.
Yeah, it's not for. It's close quarters.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But so this is my take on it. This is an in between. So the guys that.
But I like where they're going.
No, I do. It's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you need an in between step to help people out. So this is an in between. So the guys that you close your eye, the guys that shoot with one eye, you close the eyes. This is an in between, I think, to help people get to obviously shooting both eyes open and point shooting and not using their sights, because I think this will be effective,
right,
but it's not effective because you're using that sight. Does that make sense? It's there, but God.
But I like it. I tell you,
you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Some of the problems with red dots is such an adjusting period, because you got to get up and find the dot
I don't believe in red dots anyway.
You got to move with it. They can be fun.
They can be fun. They're a freaking range toy. You hear that? You hear that, Eric? They're freaking range toys.
I don't know. I tell you what, if you spend enough time with it, I'm not gonna bang it. I'm not gonna beat anybody up on it. But for me, I've been working on trigger, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been working on that forever. Okay. This is interesting though. Now this is fiber optic and the night sight. What do you call it? The tritium. So. Interesting. And I'm not a big fan of night sights, to be honest with you, because if it's that damn dark, are you seeing your target? What are you looking at? Are you bouncing back and forth? I'm just pointing and shooting.
I'm knocking the sights off of one of my guns.
Okay. Well, let's get that one first.
I'm going to knock the sights off one of my guns to see what.
I can't find a price on it yet.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm expecting $600.
I'm knocking the sights off that sucker, off one of my guns, because I think that I could do the same thing. Because they added. Have you ever heard? The guys that knock them off, or they'll put tape over them, or they freaking grind them off,
right, and
get rid of them. That's essentially what that is. But there's a dot on the back of your slide. I'm not even going to call that a sight, because there's no sighting.
It's a focal point.
I can do that with a freaking nail polish, right? I can.
You should have done it.
Well, I'm not knocking that, because it's cool. It's a great idea, and I see where they're going with it, and I think it's going to take off. But that's essentially that's all it is. It's a green dot on the back of the slide. Now, if you haven't seen this, you need to go to the Sig Sauer website and look this up. That's the P365 SAS, because essentially, even though it's an actual sight, it's down in.
Yeah, it's
down in there. It's
in the slide. It does not protrude up from the slide.
I'm telling you, green dot on the slide. I'm telling you, it's the same. It's the same freaking thing. I'd buy this gun. Don't get me wrong. I think I would buy this gun, but that is the same thing.
I'm just curious to see where they're going with that. I like to see something different.
I do, and we've had this conversation before. Where is? We had this conversation many times before. Where is
firearms going?
Where are the firearms going? What could they change? This is interesting.
It is.
It's very intriguing.
It's unique. Yeah.
I still think a green dot on the back. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to differentiate that. It's the same damn thing.
It depends on how much you can aim this. There is a distance here. I don't know. Is it enough to dial it in? I mean, to be more than just point shooting, to, be good at a few feet. You're still not going to get 25 yards out of it, but maybe you can get a lot more than just a dot. I'm curious. I want to see what they're going to do with it. And when I saw it, I was like, I still hate you, Sig. I still think you're crap. But that's something I'll take a look at, and I may buy one. I may buy it with my next purchase. I'm ordering stuff now.
We've all looked at sights of guns, so look at that. Sight it in like you normally would.
Right.
And do you see what I'm saying? You're looking through the sights.
Right.
Now imagine that. It's hard to imagine. Imagine that dot just on the back of the sights, and then hold the gun up just a little bit. Isn't that weird?
Well,
you're not using the sight for anything.
A lot of times when you're going quick, you just
front sight and that's why I think it's going to take off.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is going to make bad shooters competent shooters at close range.
I think so. It's going to teach people to use both eyes open.
It's genius.
Oh, it is a genius move. We were just trash talking Sig. This is a genius move.
Their guns are still shit, but I like your sights.
So, do you think this will force other companies to do? They can't do the same thing.
I have to give credit to them, man. That is out of the box.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Because all the guns are the same anymore.
Yeah,
they're all the freaking same. All of them are the same. That's cool.
That's changing it.
We'll
see what they do.
That is
if they can fix their quality, man. That I love this thinking of let's do something different. Let's make it different. You know what pisses me off? It's taking forever to get it good. Nobody's getting it good. They put out half-ass guns that you have to go buy new triggers, buy new sights, buy everything. Buy. You want a mag release? Get a mag release. You got to buy everything and add to it. Finally, I found the gun that somebody made right. It is properly made, proper old school perfection. Now we're starting to get into some different stuff. It took forever for people to just to make it right. And we're talking expensive guns. We're talking $1,500, $2,000 guns. It's just out of control. I have several that are, from $800 to $1,000, which is, unless you're getting into some kind of specialized 1911, that's about what you're going to spend, $1,500 max on a regular weapon, and they come out, their triggers suck, their sights suck, everything sucks. And it took till now for somebody to make one proper. So we were just asking too much for something new and innovative.
How much you think? You said you don't know how much it's going to be. This hasn't come out yet.
Their old ones are going for $550, I think. So I'm assuming that one's going to go for like $600.
Yeah, probably $600. Anytime you add a tritium sight, period,
$100.
You're looking at $100 easy. I don't know. I'm curious.
I am too.
If I had some money,
I told him to call me as soon as you get one. I want to put it in my hand.
Oh man,
I very well may have one. I may get the first one that shows up. It's like, give it to me. I'll take it. I want
to try it.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. I buy all this stuff just to buy it, and then if I don't like it, if it sucks, it's like,
Okay, this is the you're gonna have to change your mentality. Okay. You've been taking this out.
Right.
You've been going out.
Right.
And you've been focusing on really dialing it in.
Right.
Okay. Dialing it in, and I've worked with people that they want to shoot and they want to shoot fast.
Right.
What we do out there, we're out there shooting at the bullseyes.
Right, and then fast.
This, my friend, is not a bullseye shooting gun.
No.
This is a blink and still. This is a hit and center mass.
That may be
and I
may love it.
Instead of shooting groups that you can cover with a 50-cent piece or a quarter, you're going to be all over the center mass, all over the paper. Right? That's what this is. But I'm just saying.
Maybe. Watch the videos on it. Watch people shooting it.
But are they shooting it fast or slow?
No, it's just different. Some of them are slow, some of them are fast.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. But I'm just
saying. But they're
saying,
shooting at bigger distances than I expected them to.
If this is a self-defense, if you're shooting it like you should, a self-defense weapon like you should, you're going to have a bigger group.
Yeah. You're going to throw it up and bang off some rounds.
That's all this. That's what this is. That's what this gun is for.
Yeah. Well, my goal is to dial it in, then get faster, then do different things, and then play with stuff.
This gun will
multiple targets.
This SIG with these sights
2-in-1
will make. I can see the guys that go out and shoot steel, and the guys that go out and run these USPSA competitions and all this stuff, liking that type of sight, because it's going to force them not to slow down. Not that those guys are slow by any means, but you see what I'm saying? It's going to make them go faster. Bam, 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 bam. Because they're not going to be able to. That's pointless.
Yeah.
It's pointless. I mean, podcast people they don't know what I'm doing. It's pointless to close one eye and try to sight that thing in.
And totally not necessary. It's as sighted in as it's going to be.
I can't believe we're talking about SIG for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well,
this is interesting stuff here.
I'm curious. Oh, anyway, you had
what?
You had the big NRA story.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my allergies something happened. The wind shifted. My allergies are starting to kick in all of a sudden. NRA. So what do you got going on? Okay. Let me find this. I'm not going to read this complete story, but NRA, I rag on NRA a bunch, okay? But what you need to know, and we've touched on this before, but let me find this part in the article here about the people they're helping. They have a PR ad agency that they have paid tens of millions of dollars to. It's called ACMAC. And down here, we find that I'm going to butcher this story. You know that, right?
Yeah, your allergies are taking you out.
Oh, they are taking me out. I can't think for a minute. They also have
we got some people that
the attorney.
NRA, they're hiring, and they're donating tons of money to Hillary Clinton and Beto O'Rourke and everything else. And I'm like, what kind of representation are you getting here, and what are they representing you for? Because we're talking millions of dollars for PR
Thank you for the save.
Legal
by
service.
The way. I was losing it over here. My nose is starting to run. I can't breathe all of a sudden.
Maybe you could just save this story for next time.
Yeah, well, it says the political donors, Mr. Brewer, so it's Brewer Attorneys is what it is, has made about 200, so we're paying them, the NRA, so essentially the people who are members of the NRA who are paying the NRA is paying this legal firm, okay, almost $200,000 in political donations. Mr. Brewer, who runs this legal firm, has donated almost entirely to Democrats and to the Democratic Party, including last year Beto O'Rourke in his race against stalwart Second Amendment supporter Ted Cruz. They donated money to Beto. Beto just came out and said, hell yes, we are going to take your AR-15s and your AK-47s, and we're going to do it with a freaking smile on our face.
Now, the NRA is paying them $1.5 million a month.
Yeah, you got it.
$1.5 million, and they're supporting Democrats. These are not gun people. All right, go ahead.
And also, they've also made maximum donations over $10,000 to Hillary in 2008.
Amazing.
And before that, to the famous Al Franken. And when he occasionally donates to Republicans, it's often the ones popular with the Democrats, like Californian Tom Campbell. Mr. Brewer's wife, his wife's in on this too, donates the occasional Rhino donation and includes the Max Obama donation. Are you kidding me? Brewer's top partner is also a loyal Democrat donor, and he is also, he is a family member, I'm trying to find this, to ACMAC. Blood is thicker than water. Brewer Attorneys and Counselors was founded by William A. Brewer III in 1984 and has 15 attorneys listed on their website. Doing the math, a $1.5 million monthly bill averages out to $100,000 per attorney. Let's see, where does it say what the family members are?
It's his father-in-law. Is it father-in-law? Yeah, father-in-law is CEO. Brewer's father-in-law, CEO of ACMAC. He has been paid $40 million from the NRA in 2017 alone.
So the ACMAC,
what is up with these people?
ACMAC, who also supports Democrats, they're being paid money by the NRA, and then Brewer.
That's your donations.
Your donations, and then Brewer is also paying money to Democrats. With the NRA pays with your donations. My gosh, it just needs to burn. They need to clean house.
$40 million in 1 year, though.
And tomorrow, and on Monday, you will go once again to your mailbox, and you will have a letter from the NRA asking for you to join, asking for you to re-up, wanting you to buy this and do this. And they're going to send you a shitty hat from China that says NRA on it and send you on your way.
You know, I talked to somebody who had a good point. He said he supports the NRA, but he'll never do a lifetime
you're stuck
membership because you have no power no more. You have no voice.
Yeah, you're stuck.
I've been saying that so much to people that say we're going to vote for Trump no matter what. you have no leverage anymore in the fight for the Second Amendment. You've given it up because you're worthless. You can't affect them. Same thing with lifetime memberships. And I was like, that's a good point. Anyway.
So anyhow, that's we might get into that more later on when I can actually breathe.
You need some medication, man.
I need some.
You faded fast. 10 minutes ago, you was all right. Now you.
I can't breathe. Can you hear me? I'm having trouble breathing over here. So okay, but I think we are done for the week, and I am going to leave you with this. Remember, this is from Beto O'Rourke.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Go to sleep on that, and until then, we will speak to you guys next week. Bye.